Welcome to the Sports Cage on this Friday, Saskatchewan, and wherever you are listening or watching the show, thank you so much for being here and taking the time. We're on all the audio streams. We are on YouTube if you want to watch along through the sportscage.com, and of course on 620 CKRM. Colson is riding shotgun, has things buttoned up behind the board today, but we have guests for you coming up on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. It's a Western Pizza kind of night for me, I'll tell you that right now. It's not really barbecuing weather in downtown Regina right now. Cloudy, a little cool. Coming up in the show, we are going to hear from Trevor Harris. We're going to hear from Coach Mace. We are going to hear from Liam Hoskins. We are going to hear from Travis Brown, all from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Our football analyst on the broadcast crew, Luc Mullinder, is coming in about 15 minutes' time live from Hamilton, Ontario. We are going to tease Behind the Face Mask, which comes up on the show tomorrow with Antoine Brooks Jr. Did you hear, have you heard, did you see on social media Dohnte Meyers last night for the Cincinnati Bengals? Well, if you didn't, I said that I was one of the guys that thought he was going to be back around Labor Day. I don't think that's the case anymore. If he's got a lease on an apartment in Regina, he's going to break that. Because I would say, what is it, dollars to donuts? Is that the weird saying?
That's one of them.
He's sticking with the Cincinnati Bengals. We're going to hear from Joe Burrow, the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals, on Dohnte Meyers after last night's preseason game. We're going to hear from Dohnte Meyers himself. And then joining us from Fox Sports Cincinnati, Joe Danneman, who has been covering Dohnte Meyers. If you saw the piece that was floating around social media this week, that was him. Joe comes at us in hour 3. Sprinkle of the day, Lotto Lawrence is coming in. We're going to talk football. We're going to talk baseball on the gambling front. And a real Farhan Lalji as well. I can't forget about Farhan in hour 2. But the Regina Thunder started last week with, let's just say, a win over the Edmonton Wildcats. They're back to Alberta this weekend. They have a kicker. It goes by the name of Harry Case. Interviewed Harry Case yesterday because it's gay. They're getting ready to travel today, all that. So we did it yesterday. Why this is so interesting, he is from England, and he's been here for weeks, and he didn't miss a kick last week. They play a lot of American football in England. We have so many questions that we ask young Harry Case. Awesome interview. That is coming up in hour 2. It's for SaskToday.ca. If you're looking for news in and around Saskatchewan, that's the place to go, SaskToday.ca. You come at us on the Prairie Land Rentals text line, 936-6262. Prairie Land Rentals, 600 Albert Street, where you get to deal with the owner. Sports Cage and playing in the back all the time if you go in there. If you need anything to rent, if you got a project coming up, they're your go-to shop. If you're looking for Husqvarna, maybe a mower late season, I guess we still got a lot of grass cutting left. They got the warranty. They can help you out at Prairie Land Rentals, 936-6262. And you got it. I know some of you are already itching at this. The Taco Time hot take today. Game tomorrow. Come at us. What is your hot take? Now, the regular listeners, the people that you guys are awesome out there. You guys know the drill now. We don't want Trevor Harris throws 2 touchdowns. No. Something crazy. Something what? Come hot takey. Come. What? I almost got Dylan Jette 2 touchdowns in his first CFL game last week. You know the drill. 936-6262. Send those in. I'll read as many as I can. And then at the end of it all, Colson gives someone a $50 gift card to Taco Time. Anywhere in Saskatchewan, you can use it. burritos, tacos, Mexi fries deluxe, taco salads. Oh, taco time hot take. There we go. 936-6262. Okay. Last week, Riders playing Ottawa. They got a new defensive coordinator, right? In Ottawa. Some of you out there have coached football, probably played football. New defensive coordinator. Well, why don't we throw a little no huddle at them? Don't let them get ready. That makes sense. Doesn't it seem like common sense? That makes sense. So that's what Mark Mueller, Trevor Harris threw at the Ottawa Red Blacks last week. Will they do it this week? We don't know. But Trevor Harris on why he likes the no huddle tempo offense.
I think it's a good changeup for us to do, and I'm not sure if it's something we'll do all the time, but it's definitely fun because you get a lot of plays in, especially because you can kind of just feel a little bit of a rhythm, and we operate pretty fast, and we've got a pretty wide variety and array of things that we can do out of our no huddle, and we've got a tremendous coordinator that calls it how we all believe in, and we buy into the plan, and what he does, we just go out there and try and execute to the best of our ability. And but yeah, I've always enjoyed it ever since my time in Ottawa when we did it quite a bit. It was fun.
Well, yeah, when you're chucking for $40K, I guess the more plays you get in, we got what you're saying there, Trevor, right? The more plays, the more we stack up the yards and your legacy in this league. Now, does the no huddle, does the tempo, does that make it harder or easier on the young receivers?
A little less time to think, but more reactionary stuff. But those guys are in their books, and I said after the game, I'm not sure that Marquay McDaniel gets the credit he deserves for these, the array of receivers that we've kind of had funneled in and out over the last 3 years here. And every single time they go in there, they're ready to play. They're on point with their depths and timing and knowing where they're at and where they're supposed to be. And so as long as we have that, I know that we have the tremendous people bringing in the talent. And so. And if you're here because you can play. And so we have full belief in those guys.
With that said, we had a couple of young receivers in. Now we are going to have a young running back in. Because if you haven't heard, Quali Conley, who's a young running back, he hasn't played much either. He's out. They are putting in Starkorius? What are we going with, Coulson? Are we just going with Star?
I'm seeing Star.
Yeah,
I like
too.
Starkorius though. It's a fun handle.
I have never at 936-6262. I love the handle. Love the name Starkorius. Never heard it in my life until this week.
I don't think you're alone in that.
Great name. But yeah, he goes as Star. If you look up highlights here, I'm just telling you right now, you punch it into Google, comes up as Star. Now, he is in the running back position. Sprinkle of the day later, you know where I'm going. You know where I'm going with this. But, the young receivers, now a young running back. Will we see some tempo? Will we see some hurry up? Maybe from Trevor Harris. But what does QB1 think about playing Hamilton tomorrow?
Yeah, it takes me back to, early in my career. And, they were, the place was really rocking. And, their fans are great. And for their home team, I guess I should say, because they're one of the more rude fan bases, but it's it's part of the fun. I'm not saying rude as in that way. They're more they get after the players and they make it fun, and they make it feel like a hostile environment. And so it'll be a fun test to go in there because they're a good football team and they're a really good defense. And so we know that we've got to be on our P's and Q's and be on our details if we want to have success this week.
Rude kind of makes me want to go to a game now in Hamilton, see what it's all about. So that was our
I think one of the words is rowdy that I've heard used to describe Hamilton.
And Trevor's such a nice guy. He's got to backtrack right away. I don't mean it like that. But I wouldn't mind checking it out. Okay. Already, Prairieland Rentals text line. Here we go with some hot takes. Okay. Dano says, Taco Time hot take. Tommy throws a TD pass. not to Harris, but a pass. I love my Mexi fries, he says. Who doesn't? I don't know if I've ever met anyone that doesn't like Mexi fries. Speaking of first-time things, Starcorius, the name, anyone that doesn't like Mexi fries. If you don't like me talking food, too bad. Who's this one? Cairo? Sorry if I'm butchering your name. Love that you texted in, though. Ho, hold the phones. Tommy Stevens throws a TD to Trevor Harris. Wouldn't that be something now, Dano, if that happens and you didn't go with it because that's what you went with last week? Okay, there we go. Do we have any other ones coming in here that I can read? Benny's saying, I'll be listening every day from Northern BC, baby. I think he works like 10 in, 7 off or something, keeping me up to date with the local sports loop. Be home on 3 days off, loading the lunch pail. Benny, did you get a little ticket last night? How about that under? In Calgary? Now what? VA, that didn't look too good. His forehead hit the turf hard. If you're listening yesterday, Sharky ran out mid-show on the advice of Benny and got us a Sports Select ticket on 63.5 under because it was raining cats and dogs in Calgary. I start watching the game. I had some running around to do, get back, and I'm like, unless the cameras are really good, I do not see sideways rain. What is going on? And then there wasn't much scoring, but then in the second half, pins and needles, edge of our seats. Were you watching it, Colson? Were you thinking about us?
I was thinking about you guys. I wasn't able to watch it, no.
And it got dicey. It got close, especially late. The 63.5 that Sharky and I had, that was in jeopardy. My online of 64.5 was still okay, but then VA goes down, and if you didn't see it, it didn't look good. He was trying to make things happen. Forehead, head area, right into that. I don't know if it's a neck, if they said a neck, a head, a concussion. But he got up, he went tenting, and then he was on the sideline for the rest of it. And then Calgary put in their young quarterback, Josh Love, and Josh Love starts slinging it. Josh Love's looking comfortable in the pocket, and I'm like, oh boy. Oh, don't tell me. I'm texting Suits. I'm like, where's the rain? You're there. It's not raining. The guys are catching the ball. The guys are getting rid of the ball easily. But then Josh Love marching down and threw a bad interception. But BC, that's a big win for the Lions on the road there. Rourke looked better than last week. 301 yards, 1 interception, 2 touchdowns.
He had a couple bombs too.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch the full game because I was watching a lot of Dohnte Meyers.
Yep.
I was watching the Cincinnati Bengals playing the Detroit Lions. If you missed it, Dohnte Meyers, he was 3 receptions, 4 targets. He got 29 yards. He did have a fumble, but that's okay. It was ruled an incomplete pass at first, and they turned it over. And he had a run. That part I didn't see. It was a jet sweep. If anybody saw that, let us know. 936-6262. 1 run for 13 yards. They were raving about him. Like I said, we got Joe Danneman coming up from Fox Sports Cincinnati in hour 3. They were raving about him after the game.
Yeah.
And then, which goes viral in Sasky today, Joe Burrow, the star quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals, had this to say about our Dohnte Meyers after the game. Sorry, we'll replay that in a second here. There was no audio on the YouTube stream. We'll get that back. That was Joe Burrow. What he talks about there, for the people on the radio that heard it, is Joe texted Dohnte Meyers, "What are you in town?" And Dohnte's like, "I can be." Last year, Dohnte Meyers, solid player for so last year this time, he's going to Giant Tiger, taco time, he's driving down Vic. This year he's got Joe Burrow texting him about coming to wow. And I talked to him twice, I think, last year. What a nice human being, Dohnte Meyers. What an unreal guy. Now, we want to play Joe again? Let's double
Sure.
up. Let's double up on Joe. Okay, so if you missed it on the stream, here's what Joe Burrow had to say again. Sorry if you heard it already.
Number one, he just loves ball. I was the week before training camp. I texted him. I was like, "Hey, are you in town?" He's like, "I can be." And I was like, "Can you be here tomorrow at 11?" He's like, "Yeah." Come to find out, he drove from Atlanta that night to be there to throw the next day. That's the kind of guy that he is. He's had a great camp. He's quick, shifty, understands what we're trying to do. He played a lot in the CFL, so he comes over here and hasn't played a lot in the NFL, but he's got a lot of reps under his belt. And, he's a guy that we've seen a lot out of.
Oh boy, that great for the guy, but that's Joe Burrow talking about Dohnte Meyers and driving. After the game, like I said, Dohnte, nice night, 3 receptions, 29 yards, 1 run for 13 yards. This was Dohnte Meyers post game.
You just mentioned you drove from Atlanta overnight to throw with him before training camp. Is that a true story?
Yes, I didn't know you would say that, but yeah, I did actually.
Why was that a priority to make that kind of sacrifice to get up here and do that?
I feel like to let him know I'm committed, whatever it takes. Whether I got to fly, whether I got to drive, quarterback says he wants to throw, I'm ready to work, I feel like I'm not going to let him outwork me, so if he's ready to throw, I'm ready to catch.
You drive all night, or what was the timing on that?
I think I left at like 12 and then got here, I think like 6 or 7 in the morning.
Did you work out with no sleep, or did you get a nap in?
I finished training that day, took a nap, and then me and my brother got on the road.
What's it like to get a text from Joe Burrow, saying, "Hey, can you be here in less than 24 hours?"
It feels like yes. I'll be there. I'll make it work. I'll move other things around. Yeah. Top priority.
But do you feel like that's him, and for lack of a better word, accepting you, understanding what you are, what you're about, what you can bring to this team?
Well, I feel like it's an opportunity. He's being a leader. He's leading me. He wants to work. So it's my job to follow. And if he wants to work at whatever time we're at, Danneman's gonna be there. So.
That's just great. And the guy asking the questions there, most of the questions is Joe. He's going to be with us in hour 3. If you have any questions for him, 936-6262. This isn't a dictatorship. You're allowed to ask questions as well. I'll try and pass them on. There we go. Oh, Dohnte Meyers. Are you not happy? Who out there isn't happy for him? I know we wanted him back. Let's be honest. And then what about the other cat, Curtis Rourke? Curtis Rourke. He goes in for San Fran. I missed this. Tegan said she was channel surfing. She was able to watch it. But then he goes in. If you're watching the stream, we got one of his passes last night. For San Francisco, Curtis Rourke, 12 of 14, 101 yards, 96.7 rating on the evening. He had a great night. It's good for the league. And the hardcore CFLers out there feel good about it today. Feel good about all that and in that. I guess they're stuck in traffic in Hamilton. We're waiting for Luc Mullinder, which is okay because we can bump him back. We'll get Luc in this hour. We knew that traffic. He said traffic in Hamilton Was bad. Let's go to break. We come back. We'll hear from Liam Hoskins. Also, I'm going to update you on one of the biggest upsets in competitive sports in the last year, if not more. That happened early this morning. It's the Sports Cage. We're on the home of sports. We're on the home of entertaining you. We're just having a great time on this Friday for Sask today. We're back after this. Kevin. Good one on the Prairie Land Rentals text line. Stuck in traffic, eh? Bus driver number 2 behind the wheel again from training camp. First thing I was going to text him, Kevin. So you get it. Same wavelength. Love it. We figured out the audio thing on the stream there. Thanks for everybody who let us know on that. Yeah, Rourke went to the hospital. Over some kind of injury. I don't know what happened. Again, I wasn't watching. It looked like a rib injury or something.
So probably got just hit under the arm, something real good. And then, it was looking up here and it says that he went to the hospital and then got released right away. So must not be anything bad.
Yeah. Thanks, Ed, as well for that on the text line, letting us know. Harris texting in 936-6262. Hot take for Taco Time. He says Star Thomas 2 touchdowns.
There we go.
In the game. Brett says Tommy Stevens another hat trick. That's my hot take. I want some Taco Time. Give it to me. That's right. We're playing for a $50 Taco Time gift card. If you got a hot take, 936-6262 about the game tomorrow. All right. We're waiting for Luke. We might juggle some things around here, but we do have some Rider audio. Liam Hoskins with Dave Thomas talking about, among other things, his first career sack.
Liam, I would assume that film has been pretty fun so far this week after collecting your first CFL sack. What did you see on the play?
Yeah, it was, just working the edge and, kind of got blocked off, washed out a little bit, but he kind of, stepped into me and I just kept running the hoop and ran into him. But, yeah, it's been great, like a lot of support from the guys and the coaches and everybody's, real supportive and happy for me, so it's awesome.
Did it seem like it was happening in slow motion in front of you? Because the way you describe it, it's almost down to the detail.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I kind of felt that, if I was going to have some action, it's going to be kind of after the fact. And I turned the corner, I saw him coming right towards me. So, at that point, I just realized I had a good look at him, because he didn't see me. So, pretty kind of surreal, I guess you can say, like, getting thrown in there at the end or getting put in there at the end. It was awesome to have that chance.
Your coaches praise your work and your growth thus far this season. How do you feel?
Great. It's been, like I said, the support around me is amazing. All the guys in the D-line room, all my teammates, special teams guys, and just the coaching staff is incredible, giving me everything I need to succeed. And, I really feel like it's a real close family, and that's what I love to be around. And I think it goes a long way to make me feel more comfortable every day and just enjoying the process.
Tell me about the process then. This defense really likes to make teams one-dimensional by shutting down the run. How has that worked, and how much pride do you take in that?
Yeah, you got to take a lot of pride in stopping the run. I mean, that's that's how you win football games. I think it's always a focus every week. Stop the run, and you earn your opportunities to pass rush. Obviously as D linemen, we want to get after the quarterback and work our craft. That's obviously like the fun part. So you got to take pride in the run if you want to do that. And I think we've been getting better every week with that. And for me, I'm just trying to be as physical as I can. And when I'm able to help that effort, it feels real good.
Getting a chance to go back east, play Hamilton. What does it mean going back out to Ontario?
A lot. It's been circling my calendar for sure since the beginning of the year, and my family as well. Hopefully have a bunch of people out there to watch me. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm just hoping that I, stay on the roster here and, get a chance to go out there one way or the other.
Is that dream come true stuff an opportunity to play a professional game in almost your backyard with friends and family there?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I mean, it's, I have family in Hamilton as well. I'm obviously from London, but I have a lot of family that lives in Hamilton, and just like close family friends who are Ticats fans, and they go to games, and just like kids who I've kind of helped or not been around as they've been growing up, and it's going to be cool to hopefully see them there, and like I said, I've been kind of waiting and had it circled, so real exciting.
Tell me finally how this team is preparing to go against the Ticats this week. The quarterback position in Hamilton has been in flux this season. Does that change anything or any way you approach the week?
No, I mean, it's you kind of treat it the same. Whether it's one guy or the other. Get after him the same way. Again, like you said, stopping the runs first, and then earning the right to pass rush, and just doing our best to whoever's back there, put him under pressure and put him under distress.
Well, Liam, here's hoping that the bank account doesn't suffer with you buying too many tickets this week. Thanks for doing this, and all the best.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Great interview there with Dave Thomas. Oh, looking forward to the game tomorrow. Okay, I teased it, and we didn't talk about it, Colson, but I got to go at it now. Last night, in the middle of the night, Regina time. First off, if you haven't heard, Canada's men lost after beating the second-ranked team going in the world, Austria. They played Japan last night. Started at about midnight, Regina time. I stayed up and watched it. I'm a flag football nut. It's such an exciting game. Flag football nerd. I will go with that. I watched it. Japan runs an offense, and I remember Mason Nias telling me this on the SportsCage a couple of years ago because he played in the Worlds for Canada. He said, Japan runs an offense like nobody else. And did they ever? There was so much movement. They're not a very tall nation, island nation, so they don't have a lot of height, but do they make up for it in speed and athleticism? So Japan dumped Canada. Canada's still alive, though, on the men's side.
And the women's.
That's the men. Yeah, I'm going men okay. First. So the big news, though, on the men's side is America Samoa, led by Talia Tungavailoa, the brother of Tua. Talia is the former Hamilton Ticat, yes. They beat the United States of America 38-32, ending, if you're watching the stream, the USA's 14-year competitive win streak. So now, here's where it gets greasy. Oh, if you're watching the stream, check out this pass and this catch. Back in the pocket, cross the boom, right to the end zone, back of the end zone. And how excited that guy's got to be, what, 5'9", 5'10"?
I can't tell. They're moving too quick.
So the problem is, folks, Paul LaPolice and the Team Canada, they play America Samoa about 3:45 Saskatchewan time tomorrow. Loser goes home match. It's the bracket. There you say, if you're watching the stream, there it is. It's a quarterfinal match.
We were in tough either way, though, because it was either if USA had won that game, we were playing the U.S. right off the bat.
Canada, America, Samoa, USA, Japan. That one is at, what does it say, 1,300 hours? That's a Dusseldorf time. 1,300 is 1 o'clock, so that'll be 5 in the morning-ish, 6 in the morning-ish.
Hold on.
That'd be a good contest to watch as well. Japan, USA, Mexico, Panama, Italy, Germany, Canada, America, Samoa.
1,300 in Dusseldorf will be 5 a.m. our time.
Okay. I don't think I'll get up and watch that one. The women ran the table.
Clean sweep.
Let's go. They're into the quarterfinals where they will play Austria. Good day, mate.
wrong one.
Dumb
wrong
and Dumber
one.
fans will like that. Thanks. I have a globe. Mexico, Spain. If we win, we play the winner of Mexico, Spain. So the Canadian women are ranked number 1.
Mexico also went 3-0.
Oh, this is going to be so good. For the flag football fans, man, it looks tough, though. Looks tough for Canada to get through. Because what is it? How does it work again? I should know this. Paul Eppley's told us. How many berths to the Olympics come out of this?
I think it's 3.
3. I was going to say, I think it's 3, too. James is getting in on the Taco Time hot take at 936-6262. Gotta get more of the regulars in here. We're getting a lot of people that usually don't text in with some good ones, but James says, hey boys, Taco Time hot take, Roberson 50 tosses QB Harrison Ford around not once but twice. James, okay, a little subjective what tossing around is, but we're gonna take it. We're gonna put it in the file and see if you win that, James. If you got one, 936-6262. Because Luke is stuck in traffic, we're going to make some changes because, as I told you, our interview with young Harry Case, the kicker from the Regina Thunder, was recorded yesterday. He's from England. Was it Preston, England?
Preston, yep.
Preston in the UK. He's got the accent, his story on how he got here, how they play football over there. It's quite interesting. We're going to have that after the break. It's a Sports Cage on the home of local sports in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM. We're doing the Taco Time hot take at 936-6262. Captain Harvey, I love you. But come on. That's not a hot take. I'm not even going to say it. We need something spicy, something hot. Something out of the ordinary, Captain. You get a redo. Captain Harvey, 936-6262. As I said, I recorded this yesterday. Very interesting situation. Harry Case, kicker for the Regina Thunder, who hails from Preston in the UK. A cat by the name of Harry Case, who plays for the Regina Thunder. He's the kicker and the punter. Harry, first off, let's talk about your first game last weekend. What was it like getting into regular season action with the Regina Thunder?
I don't think you could imagine a better start, and obviously it was a great result for the team, and just happy I did my bit.
Okay, so now people are listening to Harry and going, oh, wait a minute, that's an accent right there. You're from the UK. First off, where in the UK are you from? We're going to pull it up on our map here once you tell us.
So I'm from a place called Preston. It's about an hour north of Manchester. So up in the northwest.
Oh, okay, there we go. I got it up on the map right now. Okay, the obvious question, Harry, how the heck do you end up in Regina, Saskatchewan?
Well, a lot of luck, and it definitely wasn't expected. I was fortunate enough to receive a call from Brad Lambus, who owns United Kicking, and he said, "Would you like to go and play in Canada?" I was like, "Who wouldn't?" Found out on the 8th of July, and I was flying out on the 29th. It was a crazy turnaround, and certainly unexpected, but just truly blessed to be here.
Is there American football, like 3 down, 4 down, whatever, in the UK? Do you play it as a kid? How do you start playing? Take us through that little pathway.
So I've got a friend, and his boss was like, "Oh, you should come and try out American football." So I was lucky enough to start playing with 3 of my best friends. There's 4 of us, and it just took off from there. There is, see, we've got BAFA back in England, the British American Football Association, and it's a growing sport back in England. It's not quite where it has the potential to be yet, but it's certainly on the rise. And so this is I think I'm going into my 4th season of football, and I've loved it so far.
How old are you?
19.
Okay, so you've been playing since you're around 50. So, like, would there be a number of teams in Preston, or do you have to travel quite a bit to play other teams?
So, there's a couple of teams in Preston. There's a uni team. There's 2 uni teams, and then I played for the Lancashire Buccaneers. Yeah.
The Buccaneers. There we go. What did you play any other positions?
Yeah, so I played on both sides of the ball. I played free safety. I played receiver. I also played receiver for Great Britain, but I was mainly there to kick. And then obviously kicker punter.
Okay, so as Coach McCauley said, okay, let's see if you can play some safety here or get out with the receivers a bit with the Thunder.
Luckily not. I'm glad I got out of playing an outfield position when I could.
What's it been like so far? Like, obviously, first off, did you you probably didn't know where Regina, Saskatchewan was? Did you pull it up on a map? How did that go?
Yeah, so they told me that I could come and play out in Canada. Didn't actually tell me where I was coming. I had to figure that bit out for myself. And yeah, it was right bang smack in the middle of Canada, and it's crazy.
And it all happened like really, really quick. So you get here. Obviously, I'm sure football guys are football guys, and athletes are athletes. I'm sure you've been welcomed. What else are you doing in Regina? Do you have a job? Or are you taking some classes? Or are you just kind of hanging out, taking it all in? What else are you doing?
So basically, we'll get up, and if we're not training, we'll just hang around Regina, probably do it, whatever we feel like doing. Not doing any classes, because where I was at before I came, I didn't want to come out and study. That was kind of my big turn off, really. But yeah, no, we were just chilling, and then waiting for training to roll around, which has been fantastic. And everyone on the team and all the coaching staff and everyone at the club, they've been so welcoming of us. It's hard for us, given that we're coming from the other side of the world. Everyone's just made us feel right at home.
Regina Thunder kicker Harry Case is joining us here on the Sports Cage. He's from Preston in the UK. Okay, let's get to your first game, man, because what is it? 6 for 6 on field goals. Longest was 44 yards. You're also doing the kickoffs, the punting. Your long punting was 50. 5 for 5 on converts and 1 point conversion. Are you a better kicker or a better punter, if you had to say?
Depends on the day. It depends on the day.
So one thing I know, I've been to Scotland. I love golfing, so I'm kind of looking. I'm like, you're kind of close to that Lytham, St. Anne's, Liverpool. I kind of like all that. I want to get to that area, and it might happen next year. But you do get wind over there. I don't know if you've had any of the Saskatchewan wind yet, and are you prepared for what's coming in, let's say, October weather-wise?
We don't get the best weather in England. It's pretty clear. It's pretty fair to say that. But no, I'm not ready at all. It will be like nothing I've ever experienced before.
Oh man, it's so cool. What an awesome story. What's the longest field goal in a game you've kicked?
So on Sunday I matched my record. 44 is my furthest in a game. So I did. I got 44 back in England.
Okay.
Yeah. Hope to break 50 this year.
What about in practice? What's your longest?
55. That I can.
Yeah.
Where we've actually kicked on hashes, so I can actually measure out properly. But yeah, 55.
I'm sure you can kick in rain, right? Because of the UK.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you play a lot of soccer growing up?
Yeah, so I grew up playing soccer from about the age of 6, and then at the age of I played rugby all the way through high school.
Any other sports?
I played a lot of athletics, played a lot of field hockey, played quite a bit of cricket.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No golf?
I've taken up golf as of more recently. Yeah, that's still a work in progress.
Have you gone to a Rider game yet?
Not yet. We've spoken about going in and seeing them, but we'll just have to find a game where we've not got training.
Yeah, well, no, that'll be cool. And then the whole global thing, right, with the CFL and all that, which I'm sure you're aware of. This has been a lot of fun. I can't wait to meet you in person, man. This is a really cool story because the Thunder, they have you, and then there's a kid from Brazil, isn't there?
Yes. So we've so that's our tour. And he's great to live with. And then we've also got Isaac, who's also from England. He's from down in Winchester, right down south near Southampton.
Okay.
Yeah. We've met once back in England at a kicking camp with Brad Chalmers and United Kicking, and I didn't remember him. And he made me feel pretty bad about that, but we honestly we've just clicked, like we've been friends for a while, and it's been fantastic. We all live together, the imports.
Are your parents now? I'm sure they're aware of where you are. Were they a little bit hesitant in you coming over to the middle of Canada to play American football?
Not really. They were not surprisingly, but they were on board straight away. And I told them that I'd received this offer. They were just like, "Yeah, go for it. We're on board." I don't think you could ask for much more in terms of like supporting this.
Are they going to come over?
We've spoken about it. I think my dad's trying to come over. We'll just have to see a little bit later on in the season.
Yeah, maybe like late October, November, and then you all can go shopping for toques and mitts and gloves and all that, all the warm stuff. Harry, keep it up, man. This is going to be awesome. Like I said, look forward to meeting you in person and coming out, checking out a game, and best of luck this weekend. You guys are back on the road again, and let's see. I'll be keeping tabs. See if you can break your personal best. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you very much for having me.
Harry Case is his name. He is the kicker punter for the Regina Thunder from Preston in the UK. What a story. Love it. It's a Sports Cage, home of local sports in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM, and streaming on our YouTube channel at sportscage.com. Who's a Star Thomas fan? Put up your hand. He's starting, or he's playing tomorrow in Hamilton. Unfortunate about Quali Conley on the shelf, but in Star we trust. If you missed it earlier, World Flag Football Championships, oh boy. Canada lost to Japan in the middle of the night, 37-28. The Japan squad is solid. Problem is, America Samoa beat the United States. Now Canada plays them in a do or die in the quarterfinals. What time is that our time again? What, 3 a.m.?
5 a.m.
5 a.m. If you're still up partying, call me. We'll watch it together. The women, they beat Japan 34-20. They're off to play Austria in the quarterfinals. The Toronto Blue Jays take on the Yankees. Week 11 of the CFL season. Ottawa at Winnipeg. What are we thinking there, everybody? NFL preseason tonight. There's 3 games. Miami's at Washington. Broncos are at Atlanta. Bucks in New Jersey to take on the Jets. SportsCage.com poll today. Who will win Saturday's game in Hamilton? Vote at SportsCage.com. The ticker is for Reliance Heath. Rent a new water heater and softener together for just $1.20 a day. Also, chance of getting $400 cash back. Some conditions apply. Call on Reliance. Ottawa, Winnipeg. Zach Collaros is back in the lineup tonight for Winnipeg. I worry I worry about Zach Long. I remember saying this last year. It feels like they were at the same time. Like deja vu central.
Mm-hmm.
I worry about his long-term health at this point. Like, he can't take any more big hits.
Not to the head.
Said it was a neck issue, the last one. I remember watching the game, and I'm like, there wasn't a lot there. His neck is back. It's better for the league with better quarterbacks. There's no doubt about it. Ottawa rolling into Winnipeg. Am I crazy? Sharky thinks Ottawa is a quality football team.
On paper, they might be. I think I saw somewhere they're starting like 7 new players this week. Like I think at this point they're just throwing spaghetti at the wall, seeing what'll stick.
Throw it in the oven, see if it bakes.
Yep.
They benched AJ Allen. They paid him so much money. Geno Lewis is in see you later country.
Yeah, I just see him working out on his social medias. I'm like, yep, fair enough. Wait for the call.
He's got to get a team next week. Is it next week? Is it the week after? I don't know. But what? Okay. What are the sharps saying? What are the smart people saying about tonight's game? How about we go with that? And how off base would it be for Ottawa to win? They're 7-point dog. It's not that 7-point dog wins a lot of football games.
I'm pretty sure they were an 11-point dog against us.
So maybe they know something about the new guys. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, some of the hot takes for Taco Time. $50 on the line. Get them in. 936-6262. Hot take from Roscoe. Come on. I don't think this has ever happened. 52 Hardrick catches a TD pass. I love it though, Roscoe.
Dan Clark style.
You went hot take and you got it. What happened to the rain? No rain, Jason is saying. I flunked out of meteorology school. I just read what is supplied, Jason. Sorry, but are you talking about in Calgary last night where I almost lost my under?
Could be.
Because all of a sudden there's all these points scored. Hammer saying, Coloros, so lucky. Keep up the good work, Captain Barney. James. Okay. James, are you in the sauce on this Friday afternoon? If so, I love it. Thanks for tuning in to the cage. Okay, so bus driver number 2 in action with Luke. He's going to love that joke. They're still stuck in traffic. He's going to come up in hour 2. So we're still juggling things around. Luckily, we had the Harry Case. Was that Harry Case interview not awesome?
It's so good.
I'm
so glad we got him here.
They'll have a story on sportscage.com about that. You can go and listen to it in podcast form if you missed it. But what a great little story on that guy. So we're going to have Farhan Lalji starting hour 2, and then Luke's going to pick it up when he gets dropped off at the hotel. Luke and bus problems, eh? It's the Sports Cage for SAS today on this Friday. Rider game tomorrow. We're excited. We're coming back after the news. Friday edition. We're getting you into the weekend here at the Sports Cage for SAStoday.ca. If you missed any of the show, you get it in podcast form for Freeze Tallman Lumber, or you can go back on YouTube and watch it as well. Coulson is with me. Thanks for making the time today. We're doing the Taco Time hot take for $50. The Taco Time couple just came in. Cairo again for his dad, Brandon. This is good. The ref, Tom Valesi, admits that he costed us the game against the evil Empire Elks. That one's in the mixer. That's a good one. James, hot take of the game. Defense scores a TD that will count on a blocked field goal. All right, James. All right. Captain Harvey's coming back. Hot take is now is Cohen will be put in the fourth quarter for reps and get 2 touchdowns. That a boy, Captain Harvey. Ruby says Trevor Harris scores 2 touchdowns. Interesting. Thank you, Ruby. Don't take your love to town. We got more. 936-6262 Prairieland Rentals text line. He's on the line with us. Let's go talk to Farhan Lalji.
It's time to get the inside story. TSN's Farhan Lalji on SportsCage is brought to you by the Cooperators. Time to get financially fit? Cooperators can build a plan that works for you. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
Thanks for juggling the time. I know you're a busy guy. You're driving from, was it Seattle?
Yeah, I was just at SeaTac Airport. My son is off to prep school in Virginia, so I drove him and my wife to SeaTac Airport down there so they could fly direct, and I'm on my way back home.
Where in Virginia?
Alexandria. It's about 10 or 15 minutes outside of Washington, D.C., so different cultural experience for sure than what he's used to out here.
That's going to be so cool. Lion Stamps last night. Who needed that win more?
Yeah, it's a good question because, BC needed the win just to kind of get back into the conversation as far as the playoff race is concerned. And Calgary had been stumbling for a couple of weeks, right? So for them to lose again, another close one, right? I mean, nobody loses close games like the Calgary Stampeders do. And I think when you look at what their offense has done this year, operating at a historic level coming into that game, and just how close those games have been. I do think they're better than their record indicates. And I know you're not supposed to say that, like you are what your record says you are, but, I think for the vast majority of football games that they play in, they're the better team. They're just not the better team when it matters the most. So I think I'm still going to say BC because, now the playoff race gets a whole lot more interesting, right? If BC was 3-6, I'm not going to say they'd be done, but they'd be a lot more doner than they are today. And Calgary still manages to be right there with them.
Have you heard anything from your people on the VA injury or what it was? Obviously, that doesn't help the Stamps going forward, probably.
Yeah, I mean, he was knocked out. I don't think that's a surprise. And full marks to Dave Dickinson for owning it with both VA and Dedrick Mills saying that they're both dealing with head injuries. So many of the coaches around this league would just kind of fumble and bumble their way around that and not be the least bit transparent. At least Dickinson's doing that. And I from what I understand, that VA had more testing today and that he's not dealing with a lot of symptoms, or any symptoms. He feels pretty good. So I think that's good news. But I think you've got to be careful nonetheless. The team does have a bye. That'll help them out. But VA did have a concussion last year, right? So, how much do you want to race a guy like that back? Because you don't want to get into Zach Caleros territory, right? Where every year you've got a concussion or a neck or a concussion or a neck. And, it's going to cost you games every year. So I think they'd be wise to take a really, really cautious approach with VA. But when you look at this race in the West, not a lot of time to waste, right?
Well, okay, let's talk about Winnipeg then and putting Caleros in against Ottawa. Ottawa, like 7 new starters playing tonight. Can Ottawa beat Winnipeg? First off, Caleros is one more hit, and is that it for him? Like I feel like, oh boy, every time he drops back now, I'm worried for him.
Yeah, we've said the one more hit thing a lot with Zach, right? That's going to be the last one, and it never tends to be that way. And Zach gets kind of offended when people want to talk about, his health and his future and what he should be doing. And I guess every player, if you're going to challenge their livelihood, is going to feel the same way. And I can't remember if this one was head or neck, because when you talk about those teams that aren't transparent with injuries, the Blue Bombers, your Saskatchewan rivals, are right at the top of that list, right? So, look, can Ottawa beat Winnipeg? Yes, because Winnipeg's not that good right now, right? I mean, Zach Caleros was playing pretty average football before the injury. Drew Brown came in, had one really good game, and then he began to play really average to below average football. And the last time these two teams met was Drew Brown's second game as a Bomber. He was the quarterback, and Ottawa had no business losing that game, right? Remember, I think 5 interceptions got dropped by Ottawa defensive backs. So I don't know that Zach's going to serve him up like Drew did on that day. But, yeah, Ottawa finds a way to stay in games. And then there's always a 5-minute stretch late in the second quarter, early in the third quarter, where they fall behind 2 scores. And the second they fall behind 2 scores, it is over because they're not explosive enough to come back. So they've got to stay ahead, stay within 1 score because, once they go down, it's not going to go. But, they can because Winnipeg's not special. If they were playing Saskatchewan, no, they don't have a chance. But they do against Winnipeg.
Let's shift to the Riders and Hamilton tomorrow. Word came out, Star Thomas is going to be in the backfield. Quali Conley is out. Just when the Connolly jerseys are flying off the shelf and we're getting to know. Now we got another new guy. Do you know anything about Star Thomas? He played at a couple of big colleges.
Yeah, no, I didn't know a lot about him. Like I've heard the name, but I can't say that I've watched a lot of him enough to have that kind of an opinion. But I'm excited. I've talked to people in and around the organization, and they talk about just the impression he's made on the practice roster, and he gets noticed. So I think a lot of people are looking forward to it. And this is kind of the norm in the CFL, right? Like to get through a year, you talk about it being hard to get through a year with one quarterback. It's even harder to get through with one running back. So let's see if he can bring some juice to that running game, which at times has been quiet this season. Let's be honest.
Put your coaching hat on, and having maybe a younger, inexperienced with this offense running back in. What are the don't worry about it, it's okay, and then what are the things you really got to caution against? Is it throwing too much at him? Is it the blocking side?
Yeah, look, I don't know that that Mark Mueller is going to all of a sudden say, we got a new running back, we're not going to run the football, we got to put it all in Trevor's hands, because also, they've got some injuries in the receiving core, right? And including some of their top guys here. So you got to be careful. Certainly the receivers are a little more experienced than Star Thomas, but I wouldn't be afraid to give him some touches, especially early in the game, and see what he can do, right? Like the offensive line's still in a pretty good place, and you can always turn back to Trevor, right? And Hamilton's not going to be explosive. I like Harrison Frost, right? I think eventually he's going to be a pretty good quarterback, but I don't know if today's that day, right? It's only second start for him. So I think that gives you a little bit of wiggle room that you can figure out what this running back can do in the first half. And then in the second half, if you got to turn to Trevor, even if you're behind, it's not going to be that far behind. The game's going to stay within reach because of what you've got on the other side.
What did you think about those two rookie receivers for the Riders last week in Jeté and Mims?
Yeah, we followed Jeté a lot in his draft journey, right? So I knew that he had some talent. He wasn't necessarily a high volume guy in college, but in U Sports you don't necessarily get a lot of those guys. But he's got some talent. He's got some burst coming in and out of cuts. I think there's some tools there, and it's amazing just the amount of depth that the Riders have at receiver, and good for him to be able to kind of have that memorable moment so early in his career, right? So, sorry, I'm just brain cramping. Who's the other receiver we were just talking about?
Deshaun Mims.
Yeah, a guy that had a really good collegiate career as well, and kind of fits the mold for Rider receivers. And Trevor's got a way of making everybody look good. And when you get to a point with guys like Kean Schaefer-Baker and Sam Emilus, you play them throughout the offense, right? Like you plug and play them wherever you need on any given play, even if they've got their regular assignment. Same with Keyshawn Johnson. But with these guys, I think they simplified what they asked them to do. They simplified the positions they wanted them to play, and as a result, they got the most out of them.
Mm-hmm. I had a little pat on the back. You like to hear these stories. I had Jeté anytime touchdown last week. I found him. I found him late, and I'm leaning towards Star Thomas anytime touchdown tomorrow. Right?
Good call. I'll take it. Here's one for you. Tommy Stevens anytime touchdown. I'm guessing the odds aren't great for that. Like you're not going to win much if you bet that.
No, that's like. What was it, like minus? I forget what I was looking at it. I'm like, there's no value there. Tommy Stevens, if there's a 3-4 touchdown loop again, then maybe it's true. Moving now to Edmonton. It was just a couple of weeks ago that they were like, one win or one loss, and Edmonton, and then now they lose tomorrow, or they lose against Toronto. Where are they? Like, does Edmonton need this win that bad?
No, I don't think they do. They've established a bit of a cushion for themselves. Look, I like that team. I really do. And they've been right in there in the games that they've lost. Montreal is by far the best team in this league right now, right? So, I know Rider fans don't want to hear that, but Montreal is operating at an amazing level. We'll see what it looks like at the end of the year, right? Injuries are always a factor in this league, and what you look like at the end is not what you're going to look like at the start. But that said, I think this Edmonton team is for real. I think Cody Fajardo is playing at a really high level. They've got depth. I'm calling the game tomorrow night. I'm headed to Edmonton tonight, and just going through the depth charts. I did an Edmonton game last year, and I went through the depth charts, and I'm like, wow, like nobody in their back seven has changed, right? The entire secondary has changed, and a bunch of them are second-year guys, which meant they dealt with a lot of growing pains a year ago, and now they're reaping the rewards of that now. They do have one change. I think Logan is out, and they're going to make a couple of tweaks to fill that, but it's with guys that have been there. So I think it's a legit team. I think Jordan McSimic has kind of learned what Cody does well, and he's also gotten Cody out of his comfort zone at times just because of what defenses have tried to take away. So even when Rankin has been really quiet the last 4 games, they've still managed to find a way to move the ball, right? I mean, are they winning every game? No, but they're in every game. So I think this is a team that's absolutely for real.
Do you think that, and it's interesting that you're calling the game tomorrow night, because we see it, right? Rankin, and then teams start shutting him down. Do you think it's cyclical? Like it's going to come back where he starts racking up the yards again just because Cody can spread it out?
Yeah, I think so. I do. And I know that he was also dealing with something in the last couple of games, and I think he's in a better place now. So I expect to see a little bit more of him tomorrow night against the Argos. But it does get cyclical. I mean, when Mike Benavides and the Lions defense in back-to-back games are really able to shut down their run game, I think that set a bit of a blueprint. But what does that do? It creates some space behind the first level of the defense for Cody to do some things. And generally when teams face Edmonton, it's take away Rankin, take away the short passes with Cody, and there are all sorts of spaces available in behind that. And now he's getting some more man coverage looks, and that's exciting for him. So, that was kind of the recipe in Montreal too, right? Like take away the run game, take away the short passes. What was it, 23 screen passes in the Grey Cup when they won? So that's the recipe. He knows what it is, and now he's taking some chances, doing some different things, and it's working.
You're close with the Rourke family. What do you make of Curtis's night last night in San Francisco?
I didn't see it. I saw the numbers. It was okay. I think it's what you would expect from a first-time start, and no reps in training camp, right? Like he and Adrian Martinez, when we were down there, they're splitting the reps with the number 3 group. So you might get 2 series of practice at best, right? So that's not a lot to build on, but these are huge evaluation moments for him. And when you look at a guy like Martinez, he spent a couple of years in the UFL. So he's gotten a little older and gotten a chance to play against men. So, but I think he held him, I think he did a pretty decent job, right? Like he didn't blow the doors off you like Nathan did in his first preseason game, but he didn't embarrass you either. I think he looks like he belongs.
Dohnte Meyers, a lot of Rider fans watching that one last night, and was on one of the TSN channels as well. He had a night. Did you hear what Joe Burrow had to say about him? Did you see that on?
No, I didn't. Go ahead.
Curtis Colson, can you play it? Yeah. Okay, here it is.
Number one, he just loves ball. I was the week before training camp. I texted him. I was like, "Hey, are you in town?" He's like, "I can be." And I was like, "Can you be here tomorrow at 11?" He's like, "Yeah." Come to find out, he drove from Atlanta that night to be there to throw the next day. That's the kind of guy that he is. He's had a great camp. He's quick, shifty, understands what we're trying to do. He played a lot in the CFL, so he comes over here and hasn't played a lot in the NFL, but he's got a lot of reps under his belt. And, he's a guy that we've seen a lot out of.
It's pretty high praise from one of the best in the league.
Yeah, and Joe Burrow would have more respect for the CFL than most because his dad played in it, right? And his dad's got a great relationship with Wally Bono, and so that's certainly there. He spent time in Canada, so that is good. And you hear more and more of those stories. Like I think Stafford and Patrick Mahomes, they've got rookie receivers that just kind of found out where they were and wanted to kind of live near them during the summer. Silas, what is his last name? 5th-round draft pick out of Cincinnati that Kansas City just got. I'm going to be at their camp in a couple of days, and he just wanted to make sure he was available for Patrick Mahomes whenever Mahomes wanted to throw this entire offseason, and Mahomes stayed in Kansas City so he could do the rehab. And so now all of a sudden those two guys have a real good rapport in training camp, and I think you can see that happening with Meyers and Burrow. But you love that when a guy is that hungry that he's going to drive those lengths just to be there to throw with the veteran quarterback.
Oh, what a story it was. And he had 3 for 29, and he had a rush for 13 yards last night. Great night. Did you hear about Talia Tungavailoa and what he did in the middle of the night?
Yeah. Yeah, former Hamilton Ticat and University of Maryland Terrapin. I think he actually got into a game for Hamilton at one point, if I'm not mistaken, when there were a bunch of injuries. But I do know he dressed for a couple, I think I want to say 3 years ago. Amazing. You know, we saw Lapo's Canadian team beat the Americans, but it was in a bit more of a friendly as opposed to this being a world championship. So, I think it's great, right? And I mean, American Samoa is a little different just because there is a huge American influence there, right? So you've got players that play high school football and legitimately know the game before they get to that point of being able to play. But I think it's fantastic, right? I mean, it just creates a little more interest going into the Olympics, and certainly gives Canada a bit of hope as well after their win against Austria. I can't believe Austria was ranked number 2 in the world. How did that happen?
But I watched the Canada-Japan game last night because I'm a flag football nerd. Japan, wow, do they run a weird offense, man? And they were good. Yeah. They beat Canada around the field. But the problem is Canada in the quarterfinals now plays America and Samoa. Loser goes home match.
There you go. I know, and it meant, like Lapo, for him, it was a real priority to kind of get that number 2 spot so that they're already qualified for the Olympics. They don't have to continue. But they put himself in a tough spot. But he knew that it was going to be a grind, that these other countries are good.
Okay, so where are you off to next week?
I'm going to Edmonton tonight. I'll call the game. Then Sunday I go to Denver. I'm doing the Broncos camp, and then Kansas City, and then Chicago, and then from there I'll go to Virginia for a day and watch my son practice, and then come home at the end of the week.
Lots of miles, man. Okay, well, travel safe, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks, buddy. Have a great weekend.
You too. There he is, our TSN football insider, Farhan Lalji, joining us. Man, is he putting on some miles over the next week? I thought I had a lot of pavement time coming up. He's in and out of airports, driving around. Pretty cool about his son, too, as well. Let's get back to some of these hot takes here for people. $50 on the line for taco time. What's your hot take on the game tomorrow? I can't read some of them. Burrow looks like he's got a Miami Vice Caddyshack vibe on with that outfit. Who is that? Leave us your name. If you're going to throw gold at us like that on the Prairie Land Rentals text line, let us know. 936-6262. Aaron from Weyburn. We're not doing pick the score, my man. We're doing hot takes. So you come at us again, you get another credit in the till. Just let us know what do you something crazy that could happen in the game tomorrow, Aaron. 936-6262 for a chance to win a $50 Taco Time gift card available anywhere in Saskatchewan. That was Kerry who gave us the gold on the Miami Vice Caddyshack vibe. That's good stuff. There's some texts here too. We'll go back. I got to read some of these, and then we'll go to break. We'll come back with Clutch Performer. We still got Luc Mullinder. He just texted me back. I don't know if they're still stranded or if he's ready to rock too. It's a Sports Cage on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM. Clutch Performer time quickly here for Kellen Solar, Lumsden, Saskatchewan, family-run business. Pretty simple. Mine, America, Samoa. Ending the 14-year win streak of Team USA in competitive men's flag football. Talia Tungavailoa leading them as quarterback, 38-32 win. But now Canada plays Tungavailoa and the American Samoan team at 5 a.m. our time. Watch party at Colson's house. Do you have one?
Mine was going to go to Kyle Schwarber opening what was it? It was the Field of Dreams game last night.
Oh yeah.
And first at bat hits a homer.
Did he?
Out in the cornrows, yeah. I don't want to show the video because it was on Netflix and they might get us flagged. So, yeah.
Netflix don't like the Sports Cage. Kellen Solar, Lumsden, Saskatchewan, family-run business. If you're thinking solar or if you have a livestock operation, look them up, talk to them. Great fellas there. They'll help you out. That was a Clutch Performer. Okay. We've been waiting now for an hour and a half. Western Pizza tonight, for sure. Western Pizza guest hotline. Joining us on video, if you're watching the stream, in an Uber vehicle We had 3-4 text messages, Luke. Any
In
resemblance?
2.1 kilometers, keep left to stay on Queen Elizabeth Way toward on 403 Toronto.
Tell Buddy to turn that down a bit. That's loud. If you can.
Can you turn that down a little bit? All right, what'd you say now?
Any resemblance to bus driver number 2, the bus driver in Hamilton today?
No, the Uber driver. The team. Yeah, the team bus. No. These guys were experts, guys. You know, we got off the airplane. We got right into the buses. Both bus drivers were completely in tune to not only the weather, but just the routine of just getting the bags, putting them in the bag. We got into the hotel, and now I'm in an Uber. And I'll tell you what, guys, there's a ton of traffic. But again, we're safe and sound in Hamilton, Ontario, ready for a good game tomorrow.
Where are you going in this Uber? Make us jealous.
Where am I going? Well, I'm actually going to meet up with former Saskatchewan Rough Rider legends Andy Fantuz and Luca Kanji.
Nice.
Yeah.
That a boy.
Yeah.
That a boy.
And after that, I'm gonna ask you to mind your own business from that point on, Rider Nation, because it's like Las Vegas when the three of us get together. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Okay, let's talk about the game. New running back, Star Thomas in the lineup. What does that mean?
Well, it means he's about to obviously take on a critical role. I'm not sure what happened with Quali Conley, and obviously AJ's been dinged up, but this is a massive opportunity for him. I think that when you look at the Hamilton defense and some of the things that they're good at, I think of Wynton McManus, and I think of that defense is an underrated defense, right, guys? I mean, unfortunately it's just. They've been on, they kind of wilt in the fourth quarter just because they're on the field the whole time. But, man, I feel like if the Riders are able to kind of get them moving left to right, go to sideline versus just attacking downhill right off the bat, I think that we got a chance to really take advantage of some of the things that they try to do with Wynton McManus and a couple of their other linebackers. So I'm anticipating a good game. I think Star Thomas is, again, how complicated can you get with him, right? How much, more importantly, does Thomas Bertrand-Houdon play into tomorrow's scheme and game now? Obviously, he's the vet. He's been around. But more importantly, that's just playbook IQ, right? So, what situations do you put in Thomas Bertrand-Houdon? I would anticipate there in some of those second and long situations, just because of, Hamilton potentially blitzing. Got to be able to pick up the blitz. Got to keep TH7 healthy.
Teams now maybe got a little bit of tape on the rookies, Jeté and Mims. Will that matter at all?
No, because I think that, the Riders have tape on Frost, right? Like, it's not about the tape with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I think it's just, I think they've been in kind of it's about us mode for the last little bit. And I think that, again, it's real critical. Guys like Jeté, guys like Mims, they don't have to be the next Sam Emilus. They don't have to be the next Kean Schaefer-Baker. They don't have to be the next whoever. They just got to be themselves. And I think that the opportunities will come. But I think that, again, you look at Emilus and you look at Kean Schaefer-Baker.
Toronto using the left 2 lanes.
See how efficient we are here? We're cruising through the left 2 lanes here, guys. But I think that the important thing is there that this has always been an offense that kind of spreads the ball around, right? And it's like a 12-round fight with the Riders. You look at last game, right? Ottawa kind of hung around there in the first, but then all of a sudden those body blows started adding up, and after a while the Red Blacks couldn't hang. So I would anticipate a little bit of the same approach here against the Ticats. I think that the Ticats, they play well, but unfortunately when that defense gets put into deep water in the fourth quarter, because the amount of time they've spent on the field, they have a little bit of a challenge when it comes to finishing games, right? And you always want me to scoop my 3 keys to the game. That might be one of them, Barney.
Toronto.
I'm worried we got to cut this interview short though, because I don't want people finding out where Fantuz lives.
Oh, we can't see anything. All we know is you're in the left 2 lanes, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. We're not too sure. Do you know anything about this Frost kid though? Like, have you been doing some research on him? What are you expecting from him?
Left to stay on Queen Elizabeth Way toward.
I think that Frost played really well. One of the things that they're going to do with Frost is they're going to set him up for success, right? The Riders got to come out here and stop the run right away, but they're going to set him up for success. It didn't seem like they asked him to do much, right? I think that the key against Frost, the key against Frost is going to be getting Hamilton into 2nd and 7+. I know that's you say that a lot about all the quarterbacks in the CFL, but when you're a younger quarterback and you're trying to figure out if this kid's going to react well to a blitz or if he's going to react poorly to just straight up man or straight up zone, you got to figure that out, right? So I think that to figure that out properly, you got to win first down, make sure that the Ticats stay in as many 2nd and 7+ situations as possible, because then you're going to really get to see, hey, you know what? We can just sit back and zone, and this guy's going to throw it to us. Or, hey, we need to step up a little bit of pressure on this kid. He's reacting well. So that's what I think that the job, because, I thought Frost was good, but, again, now that, like you said, they've got tape on the kid now, they probably coming into it with a game plan, and as you guys know, turnovers are season defining, but they're definitely game deciding.
We watched the hurry up and tempo. It looked really good. Yeah, Ottawa's got a new defensive work coordinator, so it made sense last week. Maybe the Riders go to it again tomorrow. What did you think about the execution with that hurry up and the tempo, what they did? And then as a player, who was the best at doing it against you back in the day?
I don't think that we saw too much hurry up and tempo offense. I think that that back in the day there were, like, the quarterbacks the majority of them were pocket quarterbacks, right? So like they didn't need to hurry us up. I mean, if they were down and we were trying to get a stop, we might have seen some hurry up. I thought it was good. I think that hurry up's really good for change of pace. You just don't want to, it's not a strategy that you're like, hey, let's go in and we're going to hurry up all game, right? Your guys get tired too. So I think that with Ottawa specifically, you just prevent your opponent from switching their packages up, right? Like if you've got the run set in and you think, hey, like we can pass the ball out of this run set, and if we're gonna do that, let's keep their run defense set in and pass against them, right? So to do that, we can't allow them to change. In order for them to not be able to change, we got to go hurry up. Let's implement it a couple times here, make them think on their feet.
Schultze said that Calvillo, McManus, they were some of the best at it back in the day.
Well, Calvillo, here's the thing. Calvillo was just one of the best, period, right? And I think that one of the things that Calvillo was good at, what made him able in order to even go hurry up, was he just understood defenses so well that if he saw whatever defense he saw, he could diagnose it quickly, make a change, and they had the offensive firepower to understand. Like, so if you go back to the offense against Montreal when we were playing, you'll see Anthony Calvillo get his guys up to the line, start the cadence, his guys start, and then they stop, right? And then Calvillo says, okay, well, they're in man or zone, they're in this, they're in that, and that's when he would sort of make the play from the line of scrimmage. He was also a quarterback that an offensive coordinator could trust to do that, right? So you're not going to get, Milanovic is not going to get Frost out there and be like, hey, you just call the game, son. It'll be the fastest way to a 21-point loss.
If there was a line on it after what happened yesterday and Joe Burrow's comments and the game he had and the camp he's had, for Dohnte Meyers to return to the Riders this year, what would it be, like plus 200,000?
I hope he never returns to the Riders. I hope Dohnte Meyers never returns to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, because that means he plays in the NFL for a really long time. I think that guys his size, you saw with Weston Dressler, guys his size consistently get sort of typecast into certain roles. And for me, watching him going out there and evidently making plays and getting in the press, right, that's a great thing. I hope that, you're right, that it's like plus 6,421.
Do you got
I would say 25, but Jaden Daniels now owns the number 5, so I don't want to get in trouble.
Good one. Good pull. Okay. Lastly, I'm going Thomas anytime touchdown. I think I'm going to hammer the Riders -7. I'm not sure on the over/under at 55.5 or 56. What are you thinking?
Man, So here's the thing. Remember I said under last week and they went over? Well, the reason why I didn't think Ottawa had 20 points in them. I thought we had a lot of points in us, and I didn't think Ottawa had 20 points in them. I'm not sure, and I know that Kenny Lawler might be a little bit banged up too. I don't see the Hamilton Tiger Cats scoring 21 points. I see the Riders scoring. So I'm going to go under again, even though my track record on the under right now for points is about as bad as the Ottawa Red Blacks are.
Okay.
Oh, man, that's the second one. I'm just throwing these zingers at you guys. See, I'm back home in Ontario, man. We're on the highway. We're in traffic. This is what I was raised in, I'm coming up with all these intelligent things to say. Man, I should write a test while I'm in here.
I just want you to have fun tonight with the fellas, but nothing stupid. Like, don't come on the air tomorrow with some weird tattoo or something.
Oh no, man! We've got Bible study lined up.
Yeah.
We're gonna drink some bubble tea. Maybe make a little bit of a salad, right? Like a salad, like a salmon salad, and we're gonna
just have a boys' night of cooking together. That sounds about right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Just a nice setting, maybe some brass rails and stuff. So yeah, for sure. All right, travel safe.
The brass rails are the brass rails are a little bit too far. If you the store with the brass rails are too far, far from where we are.
Be safe. We need you on the broadcast tomorrow. Have fun with the fellas. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for doing this.
All good. See you later. Have a good show.
Seriously, Luc Mullinder from our broadcast team, and no, he's not driving Jeffrey, a bozo. Distracted driving. Luke's in an Uber. That wasn't him driving on the 401. Imagine though. No, we wouldn't have never put him on the air if that was him driving. You must have picked it up late. He was in an Uber. Man, I'm starting to think over Colson. After talking about that, after thinking about it, Hamilton's probably going to score some points. The Riders are probably going to score quite a few points. So 55.5 is what I'm staring at right now on my screen. Curtis, if you're still here and you're listening, I think I like the over. Seems low. It is a Sports Cage. We are streaming through our YouTube channel as always. If you want to watch at sportscage.com, and we're on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM. Prairieland Rentals text lines buzzing with the Taco Time hot takes. We'll get to some of those. Easy, Ed. Easy on this one. Hale gets injured. Tommy Stevens kicks a game-winning field goal. I said I wanted crazy ones. Okay, so good job, Ed. Hot take. Shane and Assiniboia. Stevens passes to Harris for a touchdown. That one's become common. If that really does happen, Colson, we might have to give a lot of people shout-outs.
That's your Del Duncan Busby anytime touchdown. That's what it's become.
Every game. On the regular. Travis, regular texter to the show. Hope you're having a good day, Travis. Hot take. Mims and Weeb get receiving touchdowns. Rider fans take over the crowd and noticeable on TV. I think that's going to happen for sure. What is this one? I might have to read this one. Arash will visit.
Is it the one from JD and Assiniboia?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. You got to proofread that one.
Okay, I'll maybe wait a bit, and then maybe I'll read it, maybe I won't. Luke Walters, how you doing? Are you doing tunes this weekend, by the way, Luke? We need tunes there. Can't be quiet in the rink. Hey, fellas, hope you're doing well. Ottawa +7 tonight on the Sports Select. It's not really a hot take for the game tomorrow, but I don't mind that. I don't mind that, Luke. +7. You went and got paper ticket. I like it. Benny got the inside joke too. Attaboy, Benny. What about on the YouTube chat? I feel like I've missed a few on here. Colson, there's been some good comments. With all the injuries, Sask has me worried. Hopefully the Riders can come out swinging, get a large lead. The Tiger Cats run outside by Ford. That's scary. If Ford plays. I think he's on the outs. I think they like. Do you got any other good ones on there, Colson? Check it out. Okay, we'll keep looking on that. Coach Mace. Let's hear some stuff from Coach Mace here and what he has to say. First off, pretty simple. Coach Mace on playing the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Yeah, it's always a fun place to play. I think it's one of those organizations that you can tell what that team means to the community. Man, they're a fun group of people. So it's cool to get there when things are buzzing. They talk a little bit of mess. I know the guys probably appreciate that. From fans, just give you that kind of environment. But man, it's a good team. They're a good team. I know everybody continues to look at records. They're still trying to figure a couple things out. But they got a lot of really good ball players and good coaches on that staff. So hostile environment, good football team.
So we heard from Harris earlier. Can you pull the Harris one quickly and just kind of run it back to back with that one? Harris on playing in Hamilton. Harris 3. It kind of echoes it.
Yeah, it takes me back to early in my career, and they were the place was really rocking, and their fans are great. And for their home team, I guess I should say, because they're one of the more rude fan bases. But it's it's part of the fun. I'm not saying rude as in that way. They're more they get after the players and they make it fun, and they make it feel like a hostile environment. And so it'll be a fun test to go in there because they're a good football team and they're a really good defense. And so we know that we've got to be on our P's and Q's and be on our details if we want to have success this week.
So that's what Harris is saying. Back to Coach Mace on how tough the Hamilton defense is that they are coming up against.
Yeah, tough. I mean, at the end of it, there's tons of stats defensively you can look at, but ultimately it's going to come down to points. You know what I mean? How many are you giving up compared to how many you're putting up? Mons is, obviously I worked under Mons and with Mons for a long time. He's a heck of a coach, man. He's really intelligent. He puts his guys in good positions, and they got some ball players on the defensive side. So no shock there. Another task for us offensively. We got to go make sure we execute, and hopefully, defense can help them out. Maybe give our offense some short fields, special teams as well. Right? It's a full meal deal. We got to execute and continue to try to play complementary football.
And the last one from Coach Mace, we have thoughts on why the interceptions haven't come as easy for the Riders.
Yeah, it's I really just think it's taking advantage of those opportunities. We can catch as many footballs as we want. I used to mess with TC and Sales. Anytime there's a break when they're not on the field, they're playing catch on the sideline. I said, at some point, this is going to have to pay off, right? So you just got to take advantage of the game. But, the encouraging thing, I think, is, I think we're still maybe +3 or something like that in the ratio. And, we only had the 1 in the back end so far, 3 total. But we're still creating turnovers and we're still finding ways to win games even without the onslaught of turnovers. So, no doubt how important those can be for us as a team. Hopefully we, get on the trend of getting more to help us. But like I said, where we're not getting picks, whether it's fumbles or turnover and downs, we've still been managing to help get the offense back on the field.
YouTube chat, interesting one, the bomb. Messages in quite often. Game of the week is the Argos versus Esks or Elks. I get what you're saying, though. He thinks the Riders win by 9. I don't mind. I'm very intrigued on this Argos Elks game because where the Elks were, although Farhan was like not really a must-win for Edmonton. Edmonton could be 6-4 with a loss. It was 2.5 weeks ago or whatever it was. Edmonton had 1 loss. They were with Montreal, best team in the league, right? They beat us. They come in here and Tommy Valesi. I'm not blaming ref guy for that by any means. They beat us fair and square. Fajardo was awesome. But if Edmonton loses, They're 6-4. And Toronto is like my golf game. Jekyll and Hyde. You don't know what you're gonna. I feel like you don't know what you're gonna get. Are they gonna throw 4 interceptions, but then 6 touchdowns? And that one is very intriguing. That's the early contest tomorrow. Is that 1 p.m. our time? I'll watch that one. Maybe go to Western Pizza, have a few pints, or Pump Jacks Cathedral. That place slippery good, though. Oh, it's there. I'm not going to read some of these here because they can't. We're playing for a $50 Taco Time gift card. I'll proofread a couple of these. While we do that, Colson, we got to tease. Do that little feature called Behind the Face Mask in the pregame show coming up tomorrow. Antoine Brooks Jr. All right, so I asked him a lot of different questions, some fun ones. I asked him what he did with his signing bonus when he signed in the NFL.
I kept it cordial. I didn't really buy too much. I actually got my mom into a new house, a better house, honestly. I tried to get her into a house, but, we wasn't qualified at that time, so I just got her into a little apartment townhouse, and then we going to build off of there. I had the RA, my player personnel, help me out with my car situation, so I can drive to work. So I bought a car.
Nice.
And that was probably it. And I bought a cheap one. I bought a used one. So
what kind?
Just a BMW.
Oh, yeah. What number?
5.
5 Series? Okay, 5 Series. What a great guy. It's a great conversation. We got a couple more teases coming up in hour 3. Okay. Our guys are going at it on the YouTube chat now. Here we go. Gloves are. No one gets suspended. No one get banned from the YouTube chat. There's a fair warning. I've never seen this text in before, but we'll go ahead. As a Rider fan, I'm loving that the Riders' rise has coincided with the Bombers' downturn. They are only 1-4 at home. I think Bomber fans are going to start calling for some heads to roll. Did they lose tonight? Geekoid? Did they lose tonight? Let me know. Roscoe Colson, no game day supper picks as I'm off to Edenwold for a 40th wedding anniversary. Roscoe's on the road, coming down south. Chris in Ottawa, I'm a huge Rider fan, of course. Liking the flag football action in Germany. Watched the Canada-Austria game on YouTube the other night. Cool to see Rider draft pick former NFL tight end Anthony DeClaire catching passes. He would have looked good in green Ella Ray Elgard. Chris in Ottawa, thanks for the text, my man. Go and watch Canada-Japan, the rerun of that game, and then hit us back. What do you think? Check out that Japan offense that they run. They're something special out there. Keep the text coming, 936-6262. It is the Sports Cage. We'll be back after the break. If you missed it, Quali Conley is going to be out for the Riders. Star Thomas is going to be in at running back. Week 11 of the CFL season continues tonight in Winnipeg. The Bombers hosting the Red Blacks. Zach Caleros starting a quarterback for the Bombers. World Flag Championships in Dusseldorf. Canada men lose to Japan 37-28. Finished second in the pool. They got an interesting one to stay alive in the quarterfinals now. They're taking on America's Samoa. America's Samoa, led by Talia Tungavailoa, upset the USA 38-32, ending their 14-year winning streak. So Canada's in tough to stay alive tonight. The women, undefeated. They play Austria in the quarters also tomorrow morning. Major League Baseball, Yankees hosting the Blue Jays. NFL preseason, 3 games. Miami's at Washington. The Broncos at Atlanta, Bucks at Jets. SportsCage.com poll. Who will win Saturday's game in Hamilton? The ticker is 4. Extreme Hockey and Sport fully stocked with gear for the 2026 season. Female gear. They got new sticks arriving. CCM Bauer. You get fitted by experts. They work with any budget. Local focus, locally owned. Extreme Hockey and Sport. McIntyre Street in Regina, the Cooperator Center, and Moose Jaw Temple Garden Center. Hour 3's coming up. We're going to talk to Joe Danneman from Fox Sports Cincinnati on Dohnte Meyers and his game last night for the Bengals. We're back after the news. All right, an hour left. Now 1 hour and we're into the weekend. You don't got a lot of time to get in on the Taco Time hot take for $50. Colson's wheel of winning is going to be buzzing. Got a lot again. Good job, people. Give yourself a hand. Really nice. Come on. A chicken burrito. The super chicken burrito with a little bit of hot sauce inside. Easy sour cream. My go-to. Have you ever tried Mexi Fries Deluxe?
I have not tried Mexi Fries.
I'm going to bring it in one day for you, if that's
All right.
okay.
There we go.
You can eat everything on that. It's the Mexi Fries. It's the Pico de Gallo. It's the cheese, a little bit of the cheese sauce, and some sour cream.
I'm looking it up. I'm not a sour cream guy, but I can eat around it.
Sharky can have sour cream, so maybe if I do it on a day with Sharky, maybe I won't do it on a day with Sharky's here, because he always says it's weird. Pheasant Mexi Fries. Sharky.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. $50 on the line. Do we have any other good ones that come in? Not worried about Dano says, I'm not worried about the win. I'm going to Pump Jacks with my $100 gift card. Thanks to PJ and the Sports Cage. Dano, speaking of food, get the Kerwin crispy ribs, maybe the chicken strips if you like. Dion from Regina, I'm all over the Argos plus 3.5, and I'm an Elks fan. Really? Is the over-under in that game?
That's the question.
Dion, why, while we're talking here, because that is an intriguing football game tomorrow afternoon, 62.5.
Ooh.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah.
It's a good line.
Depends on how many interceptions Kelly throws.
Yeah, or maybe there's a prop on that, on his yardage and whatnot. I think I like the 3.5 there as well, so I could buy into that. I can be convinced. Roscoe says, Colson, people want to know how the new dad life is going. There you go. You got the floor. How's it going?
We'll do a quick update. Sure. 2 months old now, so just made it past the 2-month mark. We're getting smiles and little coos and stuff now. Mm-hmm. And we're able to get some out of him, right? So it's not just we don't know why he's happy, but he's happy. Now it's like we can tickle him a little bit and he'll give us little smiles and coos. So having a blast with that. Still a million appointments and stuff to run around too, but
I can't remember 2 months because my wife mums are rock stars. Absolute rock stars.
She's crushing it.
2 months. Is he on, what is he on for eating? Just still milk?
Still milk.
Boy.
It's 6 months is when you can start doing solids and stuff. So
wait until you're changing diapers that first week. When the stomach and everything the new stuff starts
having to learn.
Through.
Yeah. That's a fun
there's
week.
going to be some interesting changing of and then it's up the back and you don't have enough clothes to change into. It's like, how did all this come out of this little human being?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just picked up some more diapers before work today. So that's that life.
And then wait, like I said to Brett Lauder last year, wait until the day comes where you don't have to pay for diapers anymore. You feel like a millionaire. Like, I got all this extra money. But then everything else starts piling up. It never ends.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Andrew, my hot take, Mexi Fries Deluxe way better than the fillet of fish.
I don't know if that's a hot take, but
Good one, Andrew. John the Habs fan, Eskimos win, Fajardo throws for 500 yards again. So John the Habs fan is he's playing the Taco Time hot take with a different game. I think that's okay.
I think that's fine.
I think we allow it.
Yeah. If it's a reasonable hot take, like not a cold take. Yeah. You give us a hot take on another game, we'll take it.
I got Chet saying 2 interception touchdowns for the Riders.
That'd be fun.
That's hot take.
Yeah.
Ray Hale kicks a 60-yarder.
Oi.
Okay, Ray.
He hasn't kicked a 50-yarder yet.
Okay,
we're just going straight to 60.
60. Billy says Trevor throws 5 touchdown passes.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Prairie Land Rentals text line 936-6262. I didn't even ask you if you have one yet.
I had one. What was it? Another hat trick for Tommy Stevens. 3 touchdowns again. Keep the train rolling.
I'm surprised no one has come at us with that one.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see how much he keeps rolling with this, because I think he's on pace for like 26 or something this season now with where he's at, which is bonkers. So that'll be fun to watch.
Ryan, okay, I'm going to read it. Why aren't people still talking about the halftime show and why it should be the Grey Cup halftime show next year? Would really save the budget.
It was the Cowboy Clown, wasn't it? This last week, I think it was. I wasn't at the game.
I'm lost. Oh, last week. I didn't watch that either.
Yeah,
I was busy.
I was here. I have to run the board. I didn't see any of it.
I was in the bowels of Mosaic Stadium. Okay. Sorry, Rye, we didn't see it. Good text, though. I'm sure there's people that were there that like it. Hat-trick, the hat-trick.
Oh, yeah. What is it in bowling when you get 3 strikes? Is it a turkey? Yeah.
Turkey, a pheasant, if you're Sharky.
A hat-trick of turkeys is a pheasant. Got it.
Dylan from Saskatoon. Okay. And I like it's nice and short, so I'm reading it. Instead of Tommy getting 3 TDs, I'm going to say 5 TDs.
Oh, all right. New personal best. Why not?
Wow. Wouldn't that be something? Okay. We're waiting for Joe Danneman to join us here from Fox Cincinnati. But if you missed it last night and what we talked about at the top of the show, Dohnte Meyers, 3 receptions, 29 yards, 4 targets in Cincinnati's preseason game. He had 1 rushing play for 13 yards. He had a good night. Now, Joe Burrow wasn't on the field when Dohnte was on the field. But listen, and if you're watching the stream, it's an interesting combo. Listen to what one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL says about Dohnte Meyers.
Number one, he just loves ball. I was the week before training camp. I texted him. I was like, "Hey, are you in town?" He's like, "I can be." And I was like, "Can you be here tomorrow at 11?" He's like, "Yeah." Come to find out, he drove from Atlanta that night to be there to throw the next day. That's the kind of guy that he is. He's at a great camp. He's quick, shifty, understands what we're trying to do. He played a lot in the CFL, so he comes over here and hasn't played a lot in the NFL, but he's got a lot of reps under his belt. And, he's a guy that we've seen a lot out of.
Jesus, that high praise. I don't think I've ever heard a star quarterback in the NFL talk about So Farhan brought up a good point too, that Joe's dad played in the CFL. Joe's dad paid Canadian tax at one point, so he's been up here. He gets it. Now, listen to Dohnte Meyers post game.
I just mentioned you drove from Atlanta overnight to throw with him before training camp. Is that a true story?
Yes, I didn't know you would say that, but yeah, I did actually.
Why was that a priority to make that kind of sacrifice to get up here and do that?
I feel like to let him know I'm committed. Whatever it takes. Whether I gotta fly, whether I gotta drive, quarterback says he wants to throw, I'm ready to work. I feel like I'm not gonna let him outwork me. So if he's ready to throw, I'm ready to catch.
He's driving all night, or what was the timing on that?
I think I left at like 12 and got here I think like 6 or 7 in the morning.
Did you work out with no sleep, or did you get a nap in?
I finished training that day, took a nap, and then me and my brother got on the road.
What's it like to get a text from Joe Burrow, saying, "Hey, can you be here in less than 24 hours?"
It feels like yes. I'll be there. I'll make it work. I'll move other things around. Yeah. Top priority.
But do you feel like that's him, and for lack of a better word, accepting you, understanding what you are, what you're about, what you can bring to this team?
Well, I feel like it's an opportunity. He's being a leader. He's leading me. He wants to work. So it's my job to follow. And if he wants to work at whatever time we're at, Danneman's gonna be there. So.
It's mind-blowing. Like, geez. It's so great for him. Luc in hour 2, Mullinder said, I hope he never comes back. And I think that'd be the sentiment of because he's such a nice guy. We had him on the cage last year. When you talked to him, you got a sense of he's just an unreal human being. Behind the face mask again, coming up tomorrow in the pregame show. What time do you guys start everything tomorrow? I should know this. I had it written down.
I don't have it in front of me. Give me one second.
Kickoff
is 5 p.m.?
Yeah, so you guys fire at 2 p.m. right here. I knew that. 2 p.m. I'm going to have all bets are off. I'm going to get at it in the morning and figure out what the yacht club's at. I got Lotto Lawrence coming up still in this hour. Lotto Lawrence is going to want to talk about that, or a sprinkle of the day. We start tomorrow, and then I have Behind the Face Mask with Antoine Brooks Jr. Here's another tease. Antoine Brooks Jr. talking about an injury where he almost quit football.
I broke my right wrist and ankle. It came out the bone a little bit. My right wrist. It came bad. I honestly told my mom I wanted to quit football when I got hurt. So when I told her, she was just like, "Yeah, you don't gotta play football," and that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I went to the hospital, asked the doctor how long she'd give me to play, and she got me to play within 6 months.
That's great guy. Really, really good guy. I asked him about his Super Bowl ring. That's right. He has a Super Bowl ring. We're going to keep it going here. Get the Dohnte Meyers thing. Joe Danneman's going to join us in a bit as we go to break. Travis Brown talking about the Riders' dominant run defense and coming up against Hamilton and Richard Roundtree III this weekend.
Well, Coach, they aren't my lucky numbers, but when I look 43, 12, 55, I'm sure you know that those are the rushing yards that your defense has allowed the last 3 games. What's been working so well?
Really it's just we're all starting to get in that flow state where we're working together and working well off each other, as well as Bell calling a good games and giving us chances to be stout in the run. And the best part about our defense too is the DBs are very active in the run game, where they're pressing the edges and taking away the cutbacks as well.
Coach Mace talked about how it didn't start maybe well for the run defense, but it has definitely picked up the last little bit. What are the biggest differences?
Well, just got, we got some new players that were thrown in the mix early, people that are still learning the defense. And just like I already said, kind of just building the bond as a front seven for sure. Just continuing to spend time together as a group and, reviewing film together as well helps. But yeah, I mean, the group is bought in, so props to the guys.
How big is it then to be able to make teams one-dimensional by taking away their run game?
Yeah, it's huge. We're going to have a challenge this week. Roundtree's a great back. And then just looking forward, we got a few challenges ahead. But if we could eliminate the run early with how good our offense is, it really, gives us a chance to, like you said, get them in that one-dimensional mindset.
You work a lot with the linebacking group, and it's a very diverse group in the fact you've got veterans like Jameer Thurman, you've got youngsters that make their way in towards the lineup and are trying to make a statement. What's it like working with that group, and what's the dynamic like?
Yeah, I mean, it all starts with the leadership, and, shout out to Thurman because he's a pro's pro. He gets the guys right, and that really helps transition the young dudes into being vets and what we ultimately ask out of them. So really shout out to the group, the older guys in the room. Josh Woods stepped into that role as well. Been really great for the room.
It's interesting as well because there's guys I would suggest on your roster that probably could be starters on other teams. Sure. For example, Aubrey Miller Jr. has had an outstanding season thus far. What is that an advantage, or do you have to preach patience? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, no, that's the toughest question. We're always looking for ways to get, at least, I always want more linebackers on the field. But it's not always something that's plausible. But in Aubrey's situation, I know he's a great linebacker. So there has got to be some patience involved. And shout out to him because he's been patient. This is second year that I've been here with him. What was it, 3 or 4 years before that? But yeah, he's a stud. And I'm excited for when he does get that opportunity. He's going to run with it.
Well, it's exciting to watch your group fly around. Coach, thanks for your time and all the best this week.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Quali Conley is out for the Riders in Hamilton tomorrow. Star Thomas is in at running back. Canadian Football League tonight. Ottawa in Winnipeg, 6:30. Interesting one. Zach Collaros back at the helm for the Blue Bombers. At the World Flag Championships in Dusseldorf, Germany, I watched it with my eyeballs. Japan is good. Japan men beat Canada 37-28. Canada goes into the quarterfinals, taking on America Samoa, which could be a problem because America Samoa, with Talia Tungavailoa at quarterback, beat the USA 38-32. Ending their 14-year winning streak at the event, so Canada's got their hands full to advance. As for the ladies, they're undefeated. They're into the quarterfinals. They take on Austria early tomorrow morning. Major League Baseball, Yankees, Blue Jays just getting underway in the Bronx. NFL preseason, 3 games. Miami, Washington, Broncos, Falcons, Bucks, and Jets. SportsCage.com poll. Who will win Saturday's game in Hamilton? Vote at SportsCage.com. It's for Steelcraft Doors in Regina, Prince Albert, and Saskatoon. Made in Western Canada for Western Canada. Steelcraft Doors. Speaking of Prince Albert, James from north of PA on the Prairie Land Rentals text line. Where north of PA, James? I'm from. That's my area. I'm going up there Sunday. Where are you from? He says the D-line puts up a major. That's his Taco Time hot take. Playing for $50 from Taco Times. Roberson. Terry from Hudson Bay just missed the 2 sack against Edmonton, going all out. Bell 2 interceptions tomorrow. Terry from Hudson Bay. How are things up in Hudson Bay these days? Let's see. What, DeRochers? Is that the hotel and bar up there? Beautiful, beautiful country. Okay, Joe Danneman is going to join us from Fox Sports Cincinnati. He's just getting set up. Before that, let's go. We got Lotto Lawrence talking sprinkle of the day. Sprinkle of the day for Sports Select, sportselect.com. Make your picks online, generate a QR code, and you go to your Lotto Spot retailer like Sharky did yesterday, and we hit our under on a last-minute play. Thanks, Benny. Again, Sports Select, sportselect.com. All bets are 100% legal and a chance of winning cash in hand. Joining us for Sprinkle of the Day, we're going to talk more than Sports Select. We're going to go around, is Lotto Lawrence. Lotto Lawrence, last night, hit the under in that because it was a typhoon and raining cats and dogs, and then it's one of those games I'm sitting there at home and going, oh boy, where's the sideways rain? And then they start piling up the points and piling up the points. Now Sharky and I got it at 63.5 at Sports Select, and I got it online at 64.5. So I was okay online, but one of those games where I would have taken an under 40 last night, Lawrence, but I would have been wrong.
Well, you get those games where the rain, and you almost always got to go under. Checking the weather is an underrated, it is. Yeah. It's smart betting.
Yeah. Let's. I don't know what the weather. I'll check it up here. But what are you thinking? What are you thinking in Hamilton as the Riders go in?
Well, what has Hamilton really showed you the last few weeks? I don't even know is it the first guy through the room is starting quarterback? It's just not consistent. They don't stick with the guy long enough. I don't think the players even. I don't know. It's just not good. Is it Frost this week? I believe it's not a chance that Hamilton is close this week as well. The Riders are just too good, and they don't have a letdown with the Corey Mace and Harris. It's just there's no letdown with these guys. It's a must. It's a game they got to win. They'll win. What's it at 7.5, Barney? It'll be a 10, 15-point win by the Riders.
I see it 7.5. I see it 6.5. Obviously, you can manipulate those lines on a lot of sites if you want to go. So you're thinking the Riders easy cover at 7.5 even?
No question.
Okay. Over under 55.5.
It depends on the weather, but
weather looks good. Weather looks good. There. Okay. Take the over. Now, last week I went to a site and I got Dylan Jete anytime touchdown. I joked in my hot take last week about getting 2 touchdowns, but you know who I'm taking for an anytime touchdown this week? I might take 2. I'm going Star Thomas, who's going to be he's going to be playing running back for the Riders, and I'm going to go Deshaun Mims. Mims pays $160 anytime touchdown. Star Thomas plays $260. If he gets the ball a lot, Lawrence, I like that.
Yeah, why not, right? Yeah, for sure. Unless it's not goal line, but yeah.
Tommy,
see what he can do.
Tommy's minus 320 on the site. That's crazy. There's no value there. First touchdown there is. It's some plus 400 action, so that's good. Okay, let's move to Blue Jays. You just got back from watching the series with the Red Sox. What's the bet? What are we betting Blue Jays, or what do you think in Blue Jays?
Well, I mean, there were 2 games back. I know there's still a few teams, but their pitching is consistent, and they just have the lunch bucket guys like the Lucases and the Straws and this Clements, and the new guys they kind of brought in. Their pitching and their bullpen has been great over the last couple of weeks, better than most of the teams here. They have a tough stretch here now, Barney, though. They could play 9 games, 3 against the Yankees, 3 against the Rays, and another 3 against the Yankees. So these 9 games, crucial 9 games that they just don't lose much ground and sort of stay where they are.
Yeah.
Detroit right now is actually leading the wild card. On June 1st, they had they were tied for the worst record in the MLB.
Wow. Okay, so people, I don't want to ruin it for people that are maybe taping the game. The game's on right now as we speak. Do you got anything? What do you got futures-wise? Let's talk futures.
Well, so let's talk futures. So I dipped in a little bit today, Barney, to the CFL futures and the league's most outstanding player. Now, Davis Alexander, $1.60, not value there. And it isn't the East. East is, I call it the easy East. But here, the West is best. And Harris, $6.25. I know I'm a Saskatchewan guy, but Harris, $6.25. Look at all the different receivers, running backs. They've had some injuries in the offensive line, and Harris just keeps he might be one of the most underrated players to ever play in the CFL. It's just every game is as good as it was the game before.
Okay, I like that. What else are you thinking? Give me, and like I said, some of the games are on right now. Do you have anything for maybe later tonight, baseball wise?
Well, I looked today, and a lot of the games are low over-unders. Now, we talked about low over-unders before, and so I see a lot of one-run games today. I see a lot of 3-2, 4-3, 2-1 tight games. So within 1 run on Sports Select is a tie. I like that. And then there's a props, C.J. Abrams. I like him as well for Washington Nationals. He's in New York. Again, he gets 9 at-bats to maybe only 8.5 at-bats if New York is up. So I like those for tonight. Okay,
and lastly, what's a wild ride? Betting on preseason NFL. Do you ever do it?
I haven't, but I believe that could be a place to jump on ties. The 3-point games. I don't know. Well, I seen Meyers last night. He had some pretty good, decent stats for the Bengals last night.
Yeah.
So,
my Patriots ended up tying. I needed them to. They ended up tying. They missed a late field goal for the tie. There's no overtime in preseason NFL. Okay, Lotto Lawrence. Always appreciate you. Let's see how the weekend goes, and then I'm off next week, but maybe Friday if I'm back, we'll catch up. If not, the week after.
Thanks, Barney, for having me on the cage.
Lotto Lawrence joining us for Sprinkle of the Day. Awesome stuff, Lotto Lawrence. Thank you very much. I got to mention this. I just got this. We had Special Olympian Taylor Carter on the show a few months ago, Special Olympian golfer from Regina. He got a hole-in-one today at the Special Olympics in Medicine Hat. So new clutch performer for the next week from Keln Solar. Taylor Carter. What a beauty. Western Pizza guest hotline. Let's go out on there right now. I bet she's waiting on pins and needles to join a sports talk show in Regina, Saskatchewan. Joe Danneman. Joe, thanks for doing this, my man. We've been chatting all week. You look nice and sharp as well. First off, we saw your mic flash. We got some audio. You're in the locker room last night. With your eyeballs, you there at the game, tell us about how Dohnte Meyers looked live for the Bengals.
Well, I am excited to join the show because this has become one of the real good feel-good stories of the Cincinnati Bengals training camp. I would even say that it's become the best story of the Bengals training camp here in 2026. And it's interesting because, you're talking about a team with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Dexter Lawrence, what we're calling the new Fab Four in Cincinnati. And Dohnte Meyers has become the story. And the story was already great. And then Joe Burrow adds to the legend of Dohnte Meyers last night when he said after the game, he was asked one question at the end of his press conference. Was there anybody that really impressed you in tonight's game? And he said Dohnte Meyers. He loves the way he plays the game. He said he loves that Dohnte's just about ball. And then he told the story of how he sent him a text before the start of training camp a couple of weeks ago and said, hey, are you in town? Can you meet up in the morning to go out and throw a little bit? And Dohnte wrote back, I can be. What Joe didn't know is Dohnte wasn't in town. He was in Atlanta, and he drove overnight to get there in time to throw with Joe Burrow. And I asked Dohnte about it. He said, I just wanted to show how committed I am to this team and trying to make this team. And I think the story just keeps getting better and better, not only where he came from, no recruiting, and then going to the CFL, really showing out after paying for his own tryout, now coming to Cincinnati. It's been just a remarkable story, and it just keeps getting better. And quite honestly, we're all rooting for Dohnte Meyers here in Cincinnati. I think it's a great thing.
I was reminded actually earlier in the show from our TSN football analyst Farhan Lalji that Joe Burrow's dad played 5 seasons as a defensive back in the Canadian Football League, won a Grey Cup championship with Montreal. So he's got the feel to Canada. I think what Joe said there, and it's going viral in Canada, especially here in Sasky as well. You've had a chance to talk to Dohnte Meyers. We talked to him last year as well. As a human, don't you get that sense of just salt of the earth guy?
Yeah, A+, and wants to do everything he can to give himself the best opportunity for this to happen. I asked him, I said, Dohnte, a 0-star recruit, 0 Division I offers, you're out of college, and you have to pay for your own tryout for the Canadian Football League. Was there ever a point where you said to yourself, look, this football thing might not happen? And he said he's a big faith guy. And he gets that from his parents and especially from his dad. And he said he always felt like this was his calling to go for it. And you have to respect a guy that looks at it that way. But what I think is more interesting than anything about Dohnte isn't the ability that we've seen on the field and you guys saw playing for Saskatchewan. It was just the way he's approaching this, to me, is what's so interesting about it. Because, look, Zach Taylor, the Bengals head coach, said the exact same thing about Dohnte, whether it works out here in Cincinnati. And I do think there might be a path for him to make this team on what is one of the best wide receiver rooms in the NFL. You can't hide what he's doing, right? Here at training camp, and especially you can't hide what he did in the preseason opener, which was lead the Bengals in receiving, having 4 touches for 42 yards. That is seen by everybody in the NFL. So his approach is this. Look, I'm going to go show out here. I'm going to do everything I can to try to make the team here in Cincinnati. But even if it doesn't work out here, someone's going to give him a shot. He deserves a shot. He's earned it from what he's done so far. And I think that's what is really great about his story. He's earned everything that he's getting right now, right? That nothing was given to this kid. And I say kid, he's 26 years old. It's a great part of the story, too. The fact that he's getting his rookie year, his rookie shot at 26 years old makes this really cool, too.
Joe Danneman is joining us from Fox Sports in Cincinnati. Now, you talk about the receiving core there, and we're all NFL fans as well. Tegan, who hosts a show on Mondays, is actually a massive Cincinnati Bengals fan. She's loving all of this. Where is the fair shot for him to make this team as a receiver? Is he going to get some looks as a returner? Has he got any looks returning balls at camp?
I think that's what's going to be the make it or break it for him on this team, because we're not sure if the Bengals will keep 5 wide receivers or 6. And if we went down the line, you can say pretty much 4 are locks. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Andre Oshivas, that's their top 3. They're not getting rid of those guys. They really like Colby Young, kid they just drafted out of Georgia. He's a rookie that has splashed a little bit at training camp. He's a lock to make this team. And then there's Mitchell Tinsley, who I interviewed in my piece about Dohnte Meyers. And I wanted to talk to Mitchell Tinsley because he's a lot like Dohnte. He's a guy that had to start going to junior colleges. No one wanted him coming out of high school, and he had to work his way into just getting a shot here in Cincinnati. And when he came to Cincinnati last year, no one had heard of this guy, and he made himself undeniable. And so he feels like he's a lock at the fifth. Now, if they're going to keep 6, one of these guys has to return kicks. And Charlie Jones has been the guy that's returned kicks in Cincinnati now for several years, punts and kickoff returns. And he's been good, hasn't been great. So there's another guy in the mix besides Dohnte Meyers, Keyshawn Williams. If you saw the game last night, he popped. He had a big return, and the Bengals really like that. So they want to get Dohnte Meyers in the return game. And Zach Taylor and both also Duke Tobin, the Bengals GM, said they want him in the return game so they can see what they have. Just on playing wide receiver right now, I think he's probably the 4th or 5th best wide receiver on the team. But it's always not just about your ability. It's about your projections. It's can you also return kicks? And so that's where I think it's going to be make it or break it here in these final 2 preseason games. We don't expect the starters to play much. Dohnte Meyers is going to get looks returning. And I think that's going to be the deciding factor if he sticks here in Cincinnati or has to find some work someplace else.
Okay, last one for you, Joe. We have about 30 seconds here. Would the practice squad be an option? Because they make really good money on the practice squad, obviously. Do you think that's an option then?
It is an option if they can get him through waivers. I don't think that would happen. I think if the Bengals cut him, somebody in the NFL is going to say that guy can help us, and they will pick him up. But there's no doubt about it that if he were cut and cleared waivers, the Bengals would bring him back. They love him here in Cincinnati. And listen, when Joe Burrow singles you out, we've come to find his 7 years in Cincinnati, Joe gets what he wants. A lot of times he wanted T. Higgins to stay, and he stayed. And singling out Dohnte Meyers, he might stay.
Joe, let's do this again. I'm sure people in Sasky love you from this week and your pieces on him and all that. We'll keep watching you on all the socials and all that. Really appreciate you hopping on the show today.
Anytime. Was a pleasure.
There he is from Fox Sports in Cincinnati, Joe Danneman. He's been doing a lot of coverage on Dohnte Meyers this week. Like I said, it's gone viral. And he was there last night watching the game. So very cool story. If you missed it in hour 1, Harry Case from England kicking field goals and kicking balls for the Regina Thunder. I know we had an audio issue. We're going to run that for you. We're still playing Taco Time hot take for another few minutes. It is the Sports Cage, streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.